A very good afternoon and namaskar, Honorable President of India, esteemed dignitaries, and my fellow officer trainees. I, Saili Gaikwad, officer trainee of the Indian Corporate Law Service, 12th batch, consider it my highest honor and privilege to welcome you all in this august hall. Madam, it is indeed a proud day for all of us, especially the officer trainees of the ICLS, to call on the Honorable President of India and to get an opportunity to listen to your words of wisdom as we start our careers in the service of the nation. May I now invite Dr. Manoj Govil, Secretary, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, to welcome the Honorable President and brief us.
Good afternoon, Honorable Rashtrapati ji and dear colleagues. It's my honor to be present here today on behalf of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. We are truly privileged to have the gracious presence of the Honorable Rashtrapati ji here today, despite her busy schedule. I am here with two batches of 20 young officers, 12 from 2021 batch and 8 from 2022 batch from the Indian Corporate Law Service cadre. This occasion also provides me an opportunity to recall the history, the current status of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and the Indian Corporate Law Service. Honorable Rashtrapati ji, the ministry came into being in 1955 as a department within the Ministry of Finance. Later, it became a part of Ministry of Law. Subsequently, it became a full-fledged ministry, that is Ministry of Corporate Affairs, in May 2007. The mandate of the ministry is, inter alia, administration of a wide range of statutes on the regulation of the corporate sector, including the Companies Act, the Limited Liabilities Partnership Act, Competition Act, the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, the Chartered Accountant Act, the Cost and Works Accountant Act, and the Company Secretaries Act. The core job, functions, and responsibilities of the ministry include administration of the provisions of the various acts I have just mentioned, then the convergence of Indian accounting standards with the IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards, implementation of the Competition Act, conducting investor education awareness programs, investigations through the regional directors, the ROCs, and through the Serious Fraud Investigation Office, and the administration of the insolvency process. The ministry also has administrative responsibilities regarding various organizations like SFIO, CCI, NCLT, and CLAT, etc. One of the core services for delivering the above mandate and responsibility of the ministry is the Indian Corporate Law Service. Direct recruitment to this service through the annual civil service examination of UPSC started in the year 2010. Honorable Rashtrapati ji, the ICLS officer trainees first complete a 3-month foundation course at the Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration, and then they undergo a 21 months professional course program at the ICLS Academy. Various topics are covered in the academy, including the various acts I mentioned, and forensic accounting, fraud detection, big data analytics, etc. During the 21-month program that they have with the ICLS Academy, they have classroom training, on-the-job training with the ROCs, which is in the same campus, CRC, CSCs. They go and to the various field offices for around 7 months, are attached, and they talk to stakeholders, ma'am. They discuss the problems of companies, how can they resolve it. Then they have phase 2 classroom training in the campus itself. They have exams. Ma'am, our country is a very diverse and a wonderful country. They also go for Bharat Darshan for 5 weeks. Ma'am, in the first few years of their job, the ICLS officers joined their duties as assistant ROCs, assistant official liquidators. They subsequently get promoted to the levels of ROC and official liquidator. Ma'am, as far as the current focus of the ministry is concerned, our main job is to provide a conducive environment to the corporate sector to conduct business in a fair and transparent way. Our mission is to promote Atmanirbhar Bharat and to ensure that the corporate sector in India plays its due legitimate role in making India a $5 trillion economy. Ma'am, we also strive to promote corporate social responsibility in various sectors, and in particular, to encourage corporate world to not only cater for the aspirational India, but also to take care for the less fortunate segments in our society. Ma'am, as far as the faster processing is involved for ease of doing business, I would like to submit that today, after we have central registration centers, the approval process for incorporation of company can be done in a single day. The exit of companies which used to take a long time, now after the establishment of CPACE at Manesar, the time for such cases is now reduced to around 90 days. Ma'am, over the last few years, this ministry has taken various steps for decriminalization of minor violations. We are also focusing on seriously prosecuting grave offenses. Ma'am, for insolvency process also, a lot of work has been done. In the last financial year itself, banks were able to obtain more than rupees 51,000 crores through the IBC process. With this brief introduction, ma'am, I submit our gratitude to the Honorable Rashtrapati Ji for granting audience to the young officers. This will be an inspiration for the entire ICLS cadre to strive for excellence in enhancing the corporate landscape of our country. Jai Hind.
भारतीय गणराज्य की परम आदरणीय राष्ट्रपति महोदया, इस हॉल में उपस्थित सभी वरिष्ठ अधिकारीगण और मेरे सहकर्मी अधिकारी, आप सभी को मेरा नमस्कार। मेरा नाम अल्ताफ मोहम्मद शेख है और मैं महाराष्ट्र के पुणे जिले के काटेवाड़ी बारामती से आता हूँ। मैं इस समय भारतीय सिविल सेवा के एक महत्वपूर्ण अंग भारतीय कॉर्पोरेट विधि सेवा का प्रशिक्षु अधिकारी हूँ। भारत के आर्थिक एवं सामाजिक विकास में कॉर्पोरेट जगत का बहुत बड़ा योगदान है। आज देश के $5 ट्रिलियन अर्थव्यवस्था के इस लक्ष्य में इस क्षेत्र का महत्व सर्वोपरि है। परिनायकम नियंत्रणम रक्षणम, इस सिद्धांत को सामने रखते हुए इस कॉर्पोरेट विश्व के विकास, विनियमन तथा रक्षण का कार्य भारतीय कॉर्पोरेट विधि सेवा विगत अनेक वर्षों से करती आ रही है और इसी सिलसिले को जारी रखते हुए हमारे प्रशिक्षण का सफ़र ICLS अकादमी मानेसर से शुरू हुआ। यहाँ हमें 9 महीने तक अकादमी की कक्षाओं में इस सेवाओं के विविध पहलुओं को सिखाया गया। आज के इस डिजिटल युग में जांच पड़ताल के काम आने वाले सॉफ्टवेयर्स, डेटा टूल्स तथा आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के संसाधनों को हमें सिखाया गया। इसके साथ ही ICLS के सेवा जिन कानूनों का नियमन करती है, जैसे कि कंपनीज एक्ट, लिमिटेड लाइबिलिटीज पार्टनरशिप एक्ट तथा इंसॉल्वेंसी एवं बैंक्रप्सी कोड आदि का हमने अध्ययन किया। इस ट्रेनिंग के दौरान हमें देश के विभिन्न महत्वपूर्ण संस्थाओं जैसे नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ सिक्योरिटीज मार्केट, नेशनल लॉ स्कूल बेंगलोर, सेबी, नेशनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज आदि जगहों पर जाने का मौका मिला। अकादमी ने हम प्रशिक्षु अधिकारियों के व्यक्तित्व विकास और क्षमता निर्मिति के लिए विभिन्न क्षेत्रों के सर्वोत्तम शिक्षकों से प्रशिक्षण करवाया। मानसिक तनाव एवं जीवन शैली से जुड़े समस्याओं से सुरक्षित रखने हेतु बेंगलोर के आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग के व्यक्ति विकास केंद्र द्वारा हमें कार्यशाला करवाई गई। राष्ट्रपति महोदया, अकादमी के प्रशिक्षण के पश्चात हमें अंतःकार्य प्रशिक्षण यानी कि ऑन जॉब ट्रेनिंग हेतु भारत के विभिन्न क्षेत्रों में स्थित कंपनी रजिस्ट्रार, शासकीय समापक तथा प्रादेशिक निदेशक कार्यालयों में भेजा गया। इसमें हमने मानेसर स्थित केंद्रीय पंजीकरण केंद्र में कंपनियों के पंजीकरण के पहलुओं को देखा। फिर कंपनी रजिस्ट्रार और प्रादेशिक निदेशक कार्यालयों में कॉर्पोरेट प्रशासन, निरीक्षण और कॉर्पोरेट अनुपालन आदि जैसे नियामक तथा अर्ध न्यायिक कार्य करने का हमें अवसर प्राप्त हुआ। वर्तमान समय में कॉर्पोरेट कार्य मंत्रालय से संबंधित विविध संस्थाओं के पहचान एवं अभ्यास हेतु दिल्ली स्थित विभिन्न कार्यालयों में हम अभी संलग्न किए गए हैं। आदरणीय महोदया, मुझे यह बताने में हर्ष महसूस होता है कि मेरे 12वें बैच में इंजीनियर, डॉक्टर्स, विज्ञान शाखा एवं अर्थशास्त्र के स्नातक का सम्मिश्रण है। इस 2 वर्ष के विश्वस्तरीय प्रशिक्षण के बाद हम न सिर्फ कॉर्पोरेट जगत के विकास एवं नियमन का कार्य करेंगे, बल्कि भारत सरकार के ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस के लक्ष्य को बढ़ावा देंगे और भारत को एक आत्मनिर्भर वैश्विक महासत्ता बनाने में हमारा योगदान देंगे। राष्ट्रपति महोदया, इस अमृतकाल में आपके समर्थ मार्गदर्शन में ये देश एक जिम्मेदार विश्वगुरु के रूप में अपनी जिम्मेदारियां विवेक, सौहार्द एवं विनम्रता से निभा रहा है और हमें पूरा विश्वास है कि हम इसी उपलक्ष्य में आगे बढ़ेंगे तथा हमारी सेवाएं आत्मनिर्भर भारत के लिए समर्पित करेंगे। जय हिंद, जय भारत। नाउ आई रिक्वेस्ट मिस वी मधुमिता टू शेयर हर एक्सपीरियंसेस।
A very good evening to the Honorable President of India, Corporate Affairs Secretary, esteemed dignitaries, and my fellow officers. I, V. Madhumita, on behalf of the 2021 and 22 batch of Indian Corporate Law Services, express my heartfelt gratitude for giving us this wonderful opportunity to share our journey as officer trainees of the ICLS. Honorable President, we were imbibed with the philosophy of the MCA, empowering business, protecting investors, by studying the Companies Act and the LLP Act. Our legal acumen was further sharpened with the postgraduate diploma program at the National Law School, Bangalore. We were also introduced to the world of accounting, particularly Ind AS and fraud detection. Our attachment with SEBI's NISM helped apprise us of the importance of the synergy between the two regulators. We now feel prepared to don our investigative hats to ensure corporate accountability. One of the highlights of our journey was the visit to the CSR initiative Spark Minda Foundation, which was an evidence of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. The Art of Living program taught us techniques for stress management and work-life balance. In conclusion, these few months have been a period of immense professional growth and personal development. In addition to your valuable guidance, Honorable President, this Thirukkural, ஓர்ந்து கண்ணோடாது இறை புரிந்த யார் மாட்டும் தேர்ந்து செய்வதே முறை, meaning any investigation must be done thoroughly without any fear or favor, will serve as a guiding principle for us Karma Yogis in this Kartavya Kal. Honorable President, we thank you once again for gracing us with your presence. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Mr. Altaf and Ms. Madhumita, for sharing your diverse and insightful experiences. Now, may I humbly request the Honorable President of India to address the gathering and guide us all.
Dear Probationers of Indian Corporate Law Service, at the outset, I congratulate you all for clearing the civil services examination and joining this prestigious service. As India progresses through the Amrit Kal, officers like you have a great responsibility to give your best for creating a more transparent, accountable, and efficient governance system in the country. We know that the Indian Corporate Law Service officers act as regulators of the corporate world. You also are facilitators for the growth and development of business and industry in India. Ease of doing business, Startup India, Stand Up India, along with Digital India and Make in India are some of the programs for strengthening the business ecosystem in the country. Therefore, your job is extremely important as you have to ensure good corporate governance with ensuring, encouraging and promoting the development of industry and entrepreneurship. Dear officers, in a rapidly changing national and global economic landscape, you must gain expertise in your domain and keep yourself abreast of the latest developments in the field of commerce, industry, and corporate governance. As you step into your roles, always remember that your actions will have a significant impact on the industrial and governance ecosystem of the country. You should maintain integrity while you navigate your way through the framework of corporate governance. Good corporate governance is of great relevance and significance today. It would be your duty to ensure that companies are managed in the best interest of shareholders and other stakeholders. Through efficient governance models, you must ensure that the corporate entities follow an ethical culture and respect the rights of stakeholders. Effective corporate governance is also necessary for long-term sustainable growth and inclusive development of the country. Various regulations are in place of our country to ensure that enterprises follow good corporate governance practices. You must do hard, smart, and sincere work to enforce these regulations for the larger good of the citizens. An important aspect of good governance in any field is gender equality. I am told that Ministry of Corporate Affairs and SEBI have brought out regulations that encourage the presence of women directors in top management positions, but the corporate sector should promote gender equality at all ranks in the companies. As young and bright civil servants, you must work with a sense of responsibility towards the citizens of the country. The expertise in Companies Act or knowledge of financial laws is fundamental for your efficient functioning. You must also imbibe a spirit of service towards the nation and its people. As you embark on your journey, remember that your commitment to the well-being of the fellow citizens should be unwavering. You should uphold the principles of transparency, fairness, and accountability. Dear young officers, as you take your first steps into this noble profession, you should be inspired by the legacy of those who have served before you. You should remember that the country has reposed faith in you, and your actions should reflect the values and aspirations of our nation. In a few days, India will be hosting the G20 summit, which showcases India's rising stature at a global level. You must be proud that you will be contributing in a big way in the efficient and transparent functioning of India's corporate sector. The world is looking upon India, and you have to live up to the expectations of the country. I am confident that with your dedication and commitment, you will work towards and making of a prosperous and developed India. May you contribute significantly to the progress of our great nation during this Kartavya Kal. In the end, I extend my best wishes to you all for your bright and productive future. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.